I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dart. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Hopper free. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking over. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low. Told that bitch it's either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas. Get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count and with the speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and outdone. You can't do with them steppers. Niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole court. Yeah, know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low. Told that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. And I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
Back row.
You'll never see another nigga like this. Used to have that white bitch popping on the night shift. Now I'm 1West, word sharper than an ice pick. On you rappers' necks and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Runners on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jits. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. There's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic, my bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me, somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani, my wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper, got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on the face, but it's not concealing the pain. It's a shame. That's why I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo. Escobar, Poppy at the ball like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't. The streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know like. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know like. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life.
One Westworld. One Westworld. Let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make more. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Skimmer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage roar. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Stood against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing time, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But the power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. Got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. 1West World, bigger than World War 3. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have a deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. 1West World, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in their face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we have, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drought.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
This is Rude Speech, man. We got Captain Taiwan in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rude Speech, man. I break it down right quick,
don't forget it. 1West in my brain, 1West in my heart, 1West when I finish, 1West when I start. Big shine, big glow. I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got $1 million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. These fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka, equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak with a bin shot ya. The best rhymer, since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not inside of my conglomerate. Wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm throughout pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring commas. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect. Pay homage that I'm 1West bred, 1West vetted, 1West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. 1West in my brain, 1West in my heart. 1West when I'm finished, 1West when I start. I said I've been 1West bred, 1West vetted, 1West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. 1West in my brain, 1West in my heart. 1West when I'm finished, 1West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now 1West about put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designing charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though. Cause the niggas getting fouled, shooting like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino. And the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a park, but together. Homie, I've been 1West bred, 1West vetted, 1West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. 1West in my brain, 1West in my heart. 1West when I'm finished, 1West when I start. 1West bred, 1West vetted, 1West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. 1West in my brain, 1West in my heart. 1West when I'm finished, 1West.
Allah ya.
Get it on, Akim.
Barak. Yahweh Shimmy out Shabrak thumb.
Yahweh Shimmy out Shabrak thumb. Clap it up. Wee. Let's get it on in here tonight, Akim. I hope everything is good to go. I'm good to go, ready to rock as usual, ready to solve all of your problems, fix all of your families, and raise the dead. I'll take all of your questions. I'll try to make sure to clean out this chat room of all the questions so I can answer them all. And of course, we'll go into the breakdowns that Asher has right. Also, some Asher has tonight. Also, tonight, someone needs to explain to me what are the Akanakis. Break it down for me tonight. To Zaryak and Captain Soccer War, those two captains tried to help me to understand what it is. I always thought it was just some new lie for the kids to get into. See, back in the day, we had lies for your grandmama, lies for your grandfather. That was Christianity. We had lies back then like Santa Claus and Christianity and the Immaculate Conception, that Mary never had sex and she made a baby. We had all kinds of lies for your grandmama and your grandfather. Now there's new lies for the kids, new lies for the youngsters. The new lie for the youngster is the Akanakis. That's for you youngsters to get caught up into. So you can feel better than your grandfather. You don't have to believe in your grandfather's lies. You can have lies of your own generation to get into. Someone will try to explain that to me tonight and try to make me give a damn about it. And then I'll answer all of your questions, all right? You ready to rock, Asher?
Concert.
Let's go.
Concert. So I have one question here from online.
Hold up. Before we do that, uno momento, por favor. 1 second. You can get the question together. Oh, shit. Oh, Salaki. Also, I need to get I think my Mi Espanol is not together. If Yashakar's out there watching, tell him to send me the corrected. He let me know that some of my Spanish my announcements are like an unfinished sentence. So I just want to make sure I can have the correction so I can say it perfecto. Okay, I'll skip over that one. I'll just say what I have. All right. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Soy tu hermano y estos son los anuncios. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1West Calle 125 Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del comando de el General Yahana. Tu madre, I'm sorry, no, that's the one I gotta fix. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres latino, negro o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido, Dios. Órale. Let's get it on. I'll take your questions now. You rock it out, Asher.
Concert. So the first question I have is from this person here online. Mm-hmm. They said, if I could please, what is the meaning of Exodus chapter 20, verse 7? Where it states,
try to give their name. Let's give their name too, Asher. This is Israel. All right. He wants to know the meaning of Exodus 20 and 7. Let's go. Let's break it down.
Kim, can you pull the scripture up? Exodus 20 and 7. So I got it.
If I may.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Taking the Most High's name in vain. This is one of the most misunderstood laws in the Bible. The word vain means for nothing. For nothing. So meaning you should never say the Most High's God's name without having an absolutely good reason to do it, which is why in the UPK, we would never put the Most High's name on a t-shirt. We would never do that because there's another way to do it. You could always say the Most High. The name of the Lord's name is Yahweh in the Bible. That's his one and only true holy name. Now, that name is very rarely written in the Bible. It's in the Bible only a few times, but the Most High, the entire book is about him. But oftentimes he'll be called the Most High, the terrible power. He'll be called the Father. He'll be called Yah in the scriptures, and then Jah when they translated it. there are so many different attributes of the Most High that we refer to him as, because we want to show the Most High that he is not someone to be played with. The best way to understand not taking the Lord's name in vain is to understand a very strict father. Would you ever call your father by his name? Would you ever do that? Never. A good father don't play that out. You better never say your father's name. If you have a disciplinarian father, brother, no good son would ever walk up. I can't.
Let me know.
Someone's phone is not on mute, brothers. Try to put your phones on. Somebody didn't let somebody know something. Could you bring? Does everybody understand? Asher, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
You do not want to call a disciplinary father by his first name. You don't want to do that. He would rather that you call him by his title, which is dad or father or Abba or sir. Well, the Most High is our father, and he does not want to be referred to by his name. It's too informal to talk to the Most High and to use his name. If you use it, you better have a goddamn good reason to use it. Do you understand now, Israel? That's why in the Bible, Moses came to the Lord and said, we never even knew your name, all the way from Adam until Moses was leaving Egypt. They never knew the Most High's name. And the Most High told them, I am who I am, which means what? I'm your father. I'm the creator. Don't worry about what my name is. My name is Yahweh. That's my name. But I am who I am, meaning I'm the one that created you. I'm the one that brought you into this world. That's why the education of Jesus Christ is so important, because he made us understand the Most High. Before him, we're looking at the Lord like, what's your name? Is it Jeff? Is it Larry? Tell me what your name is so I can just say, hey, Jeff, hey, Larry. When the Most High is a father, he doesn't want you calling him by his name. If one of my kids ever called me by my name, it would be a sad day all throughout the planet Earth. Any other questions? Everybody gets it, right? Israel, do you understand? So you don't say it for anything. You got to say it for a good reason, all right? Even on our seal, the holy seal behind the brothers in, where is that at the bottom of the screen? South Carolina? And the bottom of the screen in South Carolina, we, as you can see, and over there in Atlanta, as you can see, we have Yahweh Shai at the bottom of that seal, because we would not put the Lord's name on that seal, so we put the name of Christ on that seal. Everybody understands. All right, good to go. Next.
Yes, so the next question I have, sir, is from Officer Shar. He would like to know the precept Titus 2, verses 9 through 11, if he can add this to his rank and order precepts.
Okay, let's hear it.
Someone can get Titus chapter 2, verses 9 through 11. Titus chapter 2, verses 9 through 11. If you got to, go ahead and read it out. Go.
Exhort servants.
You got to read where you at. Okay.
Titus 2, verse 9. Exhort servants to be obedient unto their masters, and to please them well in all things, not answering again.
This is absolutely in your rank and order precept. Our oppressor used this scripture to get cotton picked and to get sugar cane cut. But this precept is not talking about slavery through the other nations. This is talking about the chain of command and the work of the Lord. And this is what Paul was trying to teach his men. The brothers, if you serve under another brother, what you want to be is a good servant. You want to be able to carry out those orders, and don't give him a lot of back talk. Answering not again. That's what answering again means, giving someone above you a ton of back talk. Don't do that. It's not masculine, and it's beneath your service. So yes, this is absolutely talking about it. This is in your rank and order breakdown. Correct. Next.
Consul, Atlanta has a question, sir.
Atlanta, home of the brave. Give him a hand. Atlanta, you're up. What do you have, Warrior?
You gotta make sure you come off mute.
Shalak, you hear me now?
I hear you now, Warrior. Thawada for your
Oh,
service.
come.
Go ahead.
Hey, do order, sir.
Hey, Slock, if I could, sir, in the book of First Chronicles in 21, and it's at verse 1, it says, "And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel." And then when you drop down to 7, it said, "And God was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel." What was the sin? What was the sin that David did by numbering them?
It was a sin that you did not commit in the ATL. You go out to battle on the street. Some brother was telling me about some coward that was saying yesterday, telling one of the brothers that we should not go out on the street anymore because we might go out on the street. There's only a few of us on the street at any particular camp, and that the purple pigs. Put your phones on mute. The purple pigs might come out there and they might march 200 men against us. They might march 10 million men against us. David tried that. David tried to get confidence to go to war based on how many men he had. And because of that, the Most High God destroyed Israel. Let me see the ATL back up on the screen. You brothers in Atlanta? Now, when's the last time you've been to camp?
Last weekend, sir.
How many brothers? How many brothers did you every weekend? Now after you had to battle those purple pigs on that street corner, how many of them were out there that week when you were out there?
Hardly none.
Say again?
None.
None. Now, a week before that, you had to go battle how many of them out in Atlanta?
It was at least at a minimum of 100 that I saw at the bare minimum.
And then you went out to camp the next week with how many brothers?
How many brothers was?
Yeah, the next week after the battle, after they attempted to assault you at camp, you went out to camp the next week, right?
Roughly 10.
10 brothers, the same amount you went out with every week. Why? I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah, Slocky. Yeah, we had brought some backup. We had Chattanooga, we had Alabama. So they came down to camp to assist us. They ain't see none of them out there.
Forget those disgusting purple pigs. You went out to camp with roughly the same amount you always go out with, about 8 to 10 brothers. But can you imagine saying we can't go to camp again until we go out with 100 men? Do you understand?
God.
If you said, wait a minute, the only way we can go to camp is if we go with 100 men, then you would be putting your faith in men and your faith would not be in the Most High God. Do you understand?
God.
And you're going to see the IUIC get destroyed, brother. During your time in the truth as a young man, you are going to see those disgusting purple pigs get destroyed for the same reason so many other men get destroyed. Hubris, pride, and they're going to fall. And this is why David was destroyed and wiped out, and his people were plagued with illness, because David didn't want to go to war unless he had enough men to give him confidence to go out to war. When what he should have done is take whoever was brave enough to go. Whoever. Let me make this is from Commanding General Yohana. If you are an officer in the UPK and you are afraid to go to camp because you're afraid of the purple pigs, or you're afraid of the police, or you're afraid of the drug dealers, or you're afraid of getting hit with a bolt of lightning, or you're afraid of getting in a car accident, don't go to camp. Go to your camp leader and tell him you're scared, and you will be free from your obligation to go to camp. Does everyone understand what I'm saying?
Gone.
No one will bring up your name. No one will talk about it. No one will shame you. You're just scared. You're scared. And if you're scared, you should stay home, because the men that go out on that street corner are brave, just like the ATL. They're brave. And if you're not brave, you should stay home. And if you think you need to match the numbers of your adversary, then you're making the same mistake David made. You understand?
Gone,
sir.
Any other questions?
I'll insert the water.
No problem. Next.
Shalom, General.
Where you from, warrior?
Bendiga.
Yahweh en el nombre de Yahweh Shai te bendiga. What can I do for you, warrior?
If I could, General, can I get a breakdown on Isaiah 59 and verse 5 when it's talking about the cockatrice eggs?
Yeah.
If you can explain like what that means.
No problem. Go ahead and read it. Rio Grande, correct?
Kanawakan, sir.
Go ahead, brother. Someone can read it for you, or you can read either one.
I'll read it, sir. This is Isaiah chapter 59. I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, "None call it for justice, nor any pleaded for truth. They trust vanity."
If I could, none call for justice. That's the state, and that's the state of our people right now today. In the Israelite school of UPK, we're alone in our call for justice, man. In our call for justice, we talk about slavery. It's my entire time I've been in the truth, and before I was in the truth, Blacks and Latinos tell us to forget about slavery. The very people who their descendants were in slavery, they tell us don't talk about slavery. None calls for justice. No one wants justice for what happened to their grandfather, to their father. Your father suffered oppression. Your mother suffered oppression. If you're 60 years old in America, you have lived during the time where Black people did not have civil rights. If you are 60, you were alive before Black people had civil rights in America. If you are 60 years old, you were alive before Latinos had civil rights. But yet, if we bring it up, we're a hate group. We're racist. We're a cult. None calls for justice. Keep going.
Nor any pleaded for truth.
No one pleads for the truth, begs for the truth. People are happy to be lied to. When I was young coming up, there was no such thing as the Akanakis. Nothing. No one ever. That's a brand new stupid lie. A brand new lie. No one cares about the truth. All anyone cares about is being satisfied when they're getting high. So now here's the new lie for the new drug addicts. Christianity was the old lie for the old drug addicts. Keep going.
Kanawakan. They trust in vanity.
They trust in vanity. That's what they trust in. They trust in something that means nothing. They trust in a big church with a big church door and a big church steeple. They trust in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Some garbage that has done nothing, means nothing at all, but they rely on it. Like the purple pigs believe that their numbers will in some way save them when the Most High has his instrument that wipes out thousands. And it's going to happen to them. They trust in vanity. Keep going.
And speak lies.
And they do what?
Speak lies.
They just liars, man. Let me tell you, that's something that I get so bored with. Is some idiot lying all the time, telling a lie as if no one can tell. Here's the thing. If people wanted to know, they would know who a liar is. The mystery is that people don't want to know. People prefer to be lied to like a slut. A lot of brothers in the world, you just like somebody's whore. You love to be lied to. It flatters you. You're flattered by lies. It makes you think that you're intelligent or you're big and bad and you're so, proud that you love for someone to stroke your stupid ego and make you think that you know everything about the Akanakis. So because of that, you love listening to it because you can stay a drug addict and think that you're a scholar from your stupid bed. Continue.
They conceive mischief.
They conceive mischief. You know what it means to conceive? Something like to birth it. Like to have sex and birth it into this world. You conceive all types of tricks and mischief and lies and filth. That's what mischief is. Just someone that's always doing something bad. Keep going.
And bring forth iniquity.
And you bring forth evil, sin. That's what iniquity is. Mischief is like the action that's done for evil's sake. That's what mischief is. Iniquity is just evil. Keep going.
Verse 5. They hatch cockatrice eggs.
They hatch cockatrice egg. A cockatrice is a snake. That's what a snake is, a cockatrice egg. So you hatch. Imagine you keeping an egg warm, incubating the egg, holding it in your bosom, protecting it so that finally one day a little snake can come into the world and bite everyone. That's what you do. You do that. You're hatching a lie. You're birthing a lie. You're hatching something that's going to bite you and bite everyone else. You understand?
Sir.
That's your Christian church. That's your Muslim mosque. That's your purple pig. That's your Akanaki worshiper. All of them. You get the point.
Sir.
Throw out a warrior. Next.
No sweat, sir. If I could, General, Yashikar did inform me that the part you were missing was La Iglesia Cristiana es culpable de todo.
Can you text that to me, warrior? Just text it to me, the whole thing I need to say so I can say it correctly.
Sir.
I appreciate you, Thawada. Okay. Next, give me some questions from the chat room.
Sir. The next question I have lined up, sir, is from Sister Shapara,
all right.
Sir. She would like a breakdown on 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 34.
No problem, Sister Shapara. Go ahead and read it for her.
Akim, y'all can get Exodus, 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 34. Pass the mic back, Brother Sure.
2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 34. And hasten not with the times that are past, to think vain things, that thou mayest not hasten from the latter times.
This is what you need. Read it one more time.
And hasten not with the times that are past.
Meaning, hasten not with the time. Meaning, don't rush with the times that are past. Right? Think this whole breakdown is about the coming of Christ and when our punishment is over. So, of course, like anyone, if you brothers have ever been to prison, then you know what I'm talking about, where you would like to hurry up and rush to your due date until you can get a date to get out of jail. Or you women might know what it's like if you're having a child and you would like to hurry up and have that baby. You would like for your due date to get here. So be in the mindset of anyone that wants a terrible time to hurry up and be over. Well, the Most High God is saying this: don't hasten not with the times that are past. Meaning, don't rush by what you've been through. Why? Because those things are important. Those things you've been through in the past are important. I know you want to put your time of struggle behind you. You want to put your time in prison. You want to put that behind you. If you're a woman that's pregnant, you want to hurry up and get rid of that baby. But you better embrace and learn the pain of being pregnant. You better get that into your spirit because you need that. The time of struggle, brother, is here to educate you. Now, you would rush by it, won't you? You want to get through it. You want it to be over. Well, if you rush by the time of your suffering, you will suffer again because you will not learn the lessons that have to be learned in pain. Pain is it's such a beautiful teacher, Rock. It's beautiful. Pain is such an educator, man. It's amazing. I know you want to rush by. I know you're 7 months pregnant and you want to hurry up and have this baby. Instead of thinking like that, why don't you learn the lessons that you're learning while you're pregnant? You're learning something. You're learning patience. You're learning how to endure terrible pain. I know you want to rush through a rough time in your life, but you're learning something. Don't rush by it. The word hasten means to hurry. So it says, this is for Shapara, and hasten not with the times that are past to think vain things. So you want to rush by the time that's past so you can think about vain things. What's the vain thing? Pleasure. You want to hurry up and have this baby so you can get drunk. I know that. You want to have this baby so you can go drink. You want to have this baby so you can go back to having sex out of both draw legs. You want to get out of prison. Why? Who knows? You want to get out of prison so you can do what? Go commit more crime. Isn't that right? You want to hurry up and hit the streets. So you can get out of there and get high and hit the strip club just like you were before. Don't rush the bad times. You're learning something when you're in pain. And don't rush it so you can go do a vain thing. Have your own pleasure, your own lust, that thou mayest not hasten from the latter times. Why? Because if you don't learn the lesson of pain in the past, what did I just tell you? What did I just say? You're going to go through it again. So when the latter times come, guess what you'll do? You'll rush again out of the next pain, because we are in the last days. And when these days that are coming, they're worse than the times in the past. They're worse than those times. So if you can't handle the pain of the past, you will never be able to handle the pain in the last days. Does everyone understand? Of course you do. Go ahead. Next, Shapara. Was that it?
Sir. Next, I have a question from Brother Jaheem. He asked,
"Give Brother Jaheem a hand. I know him. Get it on, Jaheem. That's a hardcore young brother there, right? I'll read it for him. Jaheem said, so what about when you're praying? Is it a good enough reason to say Yahweh when you're praying? Absolutely. When you're praying, you go to you're in your private place and you're praying. That's the perfect time. You're in class and you're praying. That's a good reason. That's a good reason to say his name. One, so that the people can learn his name. The ISUPK, we always say his name in prayer in every class. One, so that we can make sure that the new generation knows the name of the Most High, because we're in a land where no one knows his name. So we make sure we say his name. Praying to the Lord is a perfect reason to say his name. Absolutely, Jaheem. Now, it's not, to make him your passcode on your phone. That's not a good reason. You can make something else the code for your phone up. You understand? All right, go ahead. Any next question online? Give me one online, Asher.
Concert. This question is from Brother Jimmy Remy.
Before we get Jimmy Remy, let's say Tawada to Chicago, who's in the house tonight. Give him a hand. Let's say Tawada to South Carolina. Let's say Tawada to the Rio Grande in the house tonight. Let's say Tawada to the Brave down there in Atlanta. Give them a hand. And, of course, to Jerusalem in Harlem, New York. Give them a hand. All right, Jimmy Remy. Jimmy Remy is saying, Salaki General, if I may, sir, can you break down John 8:58? When Christ said, I am Christian will say that was the same that Moses spoke. All right, go ahead and read it.
John chapter 8, verse 58. Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am.
Ooh, Lord. Okay, and what do Christians say? Christians say this means that Christ is God. All right. Okay, I'll break it down for you one time. All right, then I'll give you some precepts on it. Go ahead and read John 8:56.
John 8, verse 56. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad.
A little more. Give me 54.
Verse 54. Jesus answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing.
Read that again.
If I honor myself, my honor is nothing.
Now, Jimmy Remy, you got to remember that when you battling these Christians. As a matter of fact, go one verse above it. Go ahead.
Verse 53. Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead?
So now this is when Christ is battling the Christians of his time, which were the Sadducee and Pharisee. And they're saying, what do you think you're greater than Abraham? Is that what you think? Do you think you're greater than Abraham? Go ahead.
And the prophets are dead. Who makest thou thyself?
So he's saying, wait a minute. The Sadducee and Pharisee are saying, all the prophets are dead. So we know you're not a prophet because they're all dead, right? And are you greater than Abraham? Do you think you're greater than him? Who makes you you? Meaning they're trying to say, where do you get the authority to say what you're saying? The prophets are dead, so I know they didn't give you the authority. Do you think you're greater than our father Abraham? He didn't give you the authority. So then where do you get the authority to say the things you're saying? That's the point. Read that last part again. That might explain it to you. Go ahead.
The last part of that verse, sir?
Yes.
And the prophets are dead. Whom makest thou thyself?
Whom makest thou thyself? Meaning, who made you you? The prophets are gone. You act like you're better than Abraham. Who made you you? Meaning, who rose you up? Who gave you your rank? Where do you get the authority to say these things? Everybody gets it. Go ahead.
Verse 54. Jesus answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing.
So you see, I'm not honoring myself, because if I do, my honor is nothing. Now, Jimmy Remy, you got to bring that to Christians, because Christ just said right here, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing, which means he is not talking about himself when he's talking about I am, because he can't honor himself because he's not God. So he will not say, I bless myself. I pray to myself. I give myself rank. I raise myself up. Because if he is God, then that means he absolutely raised himself up because he's God. So he taught himself. He gave himself the power. He made himself the Son of God because he's God. He's telling you right here he's not God. He's saying it right here, Christians. Read it one more time.
Jesus answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing.
Jimmy Remy, I mean, you got to bring this to the Christians up. You got to just go a verse up, precept upon precept. In this case, the precept is right up top. If I honor myself, my honor is nothing. So if he says, I am God and listen to me, then that is nothing. Because if he honors himself, his honor is nothing. Continue.
It is my Father that honoreth me.
It is say what again?
It is my Father that honoreth me.
You understand, Jimmy Remy? So he's not honoring himself. He's not God saying, I'm God, honor me. Do like I'm telling you to do and honor me because I'm telling you to honor me because I'm God. He's not doing that, because if he did that, that would be nothing. But the Most High God is honoring him, his Father. He didn't use his name right there. He called him his Father. He has enough honor for his Father not to use his first name, not to use it. He said the Most High is honoring me. He's the one that taught me. I didn't teach myself, which means I'm not God. I didn't raise up myself. I'm not God. Continue.
Of whom ye say that he is your God.
And you say he's your God. Well, he rose me up. You want to know who rose me up? Him. I didn't raise up myself, because if Jesus is God, then he rose himself up. And he taught himself. He made himself exalted. And if he did that, then his exaltation is nothing. But the God that you serve is the one that gave me what I have. So what's your problem? You love the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He sent me to make sure that you keep the law, because you're doing a terrible job at doing it on your own. So what's your problem? You say you love the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, I'm here to make sure that you have the tools you need to keep the law, because you're doing a terrible job at keeping the law before I got here. So the Most High sent me. Continue.
Verse 55. Yet ye have not known him.
Yet you don't know God. Yet even though he sent me, you don't know him. He's not saying you don't know me. You don't know the Most High. See that, and that's the lie that Christians don't want to let go of. Christians want to be the authority on God because they're a Christian, and America and Great Britain and Canada are Christian countries. If we were in Saudi Arabia, this would be a whole different story. But you know, being a Christian in America is like being in the upper class. You brothers, some of you brothers out there are going to go to court, and your baby's mother, first of all, is a terrible, stupid bitch. That's your baby's mother. And she's going to drag you into court. And she is going to say in court, he's trying to make my child dress up in that headband and go to his congregation and make my son celebrate the Passover. Your baby's mother is going to treat being in the truth like it's a crime. And she's going to say, well, if you want to spend time with your son, why do you have to teach him that mess that you into? Spend time with your child, but don't teach him what you believe. Now, what father in the world would not give his son his religion? What father would not teach his son what he believes? But when you're in the Israelite school of UPK, your bitch dog head baby's mother thinks that it's a crime not to be Christian. She thinks everyone has to be Christian because she thinks she's in the upper class because she's Christian. And she thinks it must be a crime not to celebrate Christmas. It must be a crime to act like that. When it's not, you dumb dog-headed bitch. It's not a crime to be in the truth. And the judge is going to tell you that. America and Great Britain have freedom of religion. You weekend whore. They have freedom of religion. You can believe whatever you want to believe in America. But because you're Christian, you think everyone must be Christian. Everyone has to be Christian when you don't. When you don't. You see, the lie you want to believe in is that you know God when you don't know him. You don't know anything about the Bible. You don't know anything about God. All you know is the tradition of liars. You know the tradition of the oppressors that enslaved your grandmother, but you don't know God. And that's what Christ is trying to explain to these men who claim to be the followers of the God of Abraham. Continue.
But I know him.
Say that again.
But I know him.
Yeah, that you see the problem here, right? Yeah, but I do know him. I know him. You don't. You don't know the Lord. That's why you eat pork and eat crab and eat shrimp. And the whole world damn near died from the COVID-19 virus. Because you don't know God. You got to give up that pride of thinking that you are the chosen knowledge of the earth. The only thing you have is the power of the American military and the power of the police. You don't have God's power. You just entered the same religion as the president. That's it. That's all. You don't have any supernatural power. Your power is natural. You have the power of the police, who is a Christian, the police chief, the police officers are Christians, and the president and the governor. Your power comes from man, not from God. You don't know God, but I know him. Continue.
And if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you.
And if I said I don't know God, I'd be a liar just like you. You lie when you say you know him. I'd be lying if I say I don't know him. Continue.
But I know him and keep his saying.
I do what?
I know him and keep his saying.
Keep who's saying?
His saying.
My saying.
His saying.
You sure he's not saying my saying right there?
Salaka, sir, says his saying.
You see, I don't know what to do for you then. Because he's telling you he didn't say this, but the Most High said this. He didn't say it, but the Most High said it. And the Most High sent him to you so you could know the Most High, because he is going to teach you about the Most High. That doesn't make him the Most High, but it makes him an actual believer in the Most High and not a hypocrite like you. Continue.
Verse 56. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Who is the my day he's speaking about? He's speaking about the day when finally the Israelites would come back to the Lord our God. When finally a hero would be chosen to deliver the Israelites. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Now, remember my day. You need Isaac for that right there. Keep going.
And he saw it and was glad.
How did Abraham see the day of Jesus Christ? Because Jesus Christ is Isaac. He is Isaac in the reincarnation. Who was the father of Isaac? Abraham. Abraham rejoiced when he had Isaac because he knew that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. He knew that now he had someone to take on his inheritance. And he was so happy because before that, he thought he had to give Ishmael his inheritance. But Ishmael was not who the Lord wanted to receive the inheritance. Isaac was who the Most High wanted to receive the inheritance. And the Most High God said that the children of the flesh shall not receive the inheritance, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is the day that Jesus Christ was born into the world as Isaac to receive the inheritance of Abraham. And Abraham rejoiced. He's trying to tell these Pharisees that I'm Isaac back from the past. He's trying to tell them that. But they don't know God, so they don't know him. Done. Next. Keep going.
Verse 57. Then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old, and hast thou seen Abraham?
You see, these dummies didn't understand reincarnation, warrior. They're like, hold up, you ain't even 50 years old. How did Abraham know you? Because these were like your Christians. They don't believe in reincarnation. Christ is trying to tell them, I was around during the time of Abraham. I was around back then. And they're like, how did you know Abraham? You're not even 50 years old. Abraham was around hundreds of years ago. These dummies were just like your grandmom and your father and your mother and your friends and that whore you're having sex with. They didn't believe in reincarnation. So they don't understand what Christ is saying when he's saying, I was back there with Abraham. They're like, man, you ain't even 50 years old. How were you back there with Abraham? Continue.
Verse 58. Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am.
Before Abraham was, I am. Now what is Christ talking about? They're saying you ain't even old enough to be around with Abraham. He's saying before Abraham was, I am. What is he talking about now? Who wants to blow my mind with the answer? Before Abraham was, I am. Not only is Christ Isaac, keep going.
Slack, sir. Is he talking about Adam?
Give him a hand. He's talking about Adam. He was around before Abraham. Precept. Give me Romans. Then I got to go and get to the next question, if you don't mind. Give me for water to the sister holding down tonight. The water sis, give it on. Coming up with the scotch. That's all I need. That's all I need to cut Christian scotch. Speaking of that, we'll be in Scotland. So Christians, stay away from Scotland. Do not go to Scotland because I will be on a rampage to cut Christians in Scotland. All right, give me, you know what I need in Romans? I need Romans first for, who asked this question? Remy Ray? I need the one where Christ talked about Adam. I mean, where the first and the last Adam, and I need as many as worship the Son of God, as worship the Father, are the sons of God. Then I got to get off of this for time's sake. All right, come on. First Adam and last Adam is what I need, warrior.
So like it says, 1 Corinthians 15.
1 Corinthians 15. Listen to this, Remy.
And verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
The first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The first man, Adam. You know who that is. That's the Adam with the Adam and Eve and the garden and the serpent, right? He was made a living soul. He was given life. What's the life he received? He received the law, the instructions on how to live. The tree of life is what he received. And with that, he was made a living soul. Continue.
The last Adam was made.
Adam. Slow that down. The what Adam?
The last Adam.
Remy, were there two Adams? Yeah, there were two Adams out. Yeah, there were. There was the first Adam, and then there was the last Adam. The first Adam was given life, made a living soul. The last Adam, go ahead,
was made a quickening spirit.
He was what?
Was made a quickening spirit.
The Bible says Adam, the last Adam, was made a quickening spirit. The word quicken means life, but the last Adam gives life. So he's a quickening spirit. The first Adam was given life. The last Adam gives life. But there were two Adams. And so Christ was around before Abraham. He existed before Abraham. That is what it's talking about. I'll give you a little more. Give me the sons of God in Romans 8. Romans 8, I think in 12 or something like that. You know who's reading? Do you know what I want?
14.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God.
Where's Remy at? Put Remy up on the screen again. Remy, this is what you got to take the Christians, Remy. Read that one more time.
Romans 8 and 14. For as many as are
led. Slow it. Taste the words. Taste them.
For as many.
As what?
As many.
For as many. For as many. Many is more than one, more than two, more than three, more than 100. For as many, go ahead,
are led by the Spirit of God.
For as many that are led by the Spirit of God, keep going.
They are the sons of God.
They are the what?
Sons of God.
Spell that word.
S-O-N-S.
You see, sons. Jesus Christ is the Son of God, but he's not the only one. He ain't the only one. Jesus Christ is not the Son of God because his mother had magical sex with the Almighty Lord. He's the Son of God because he was led of the Spirit of God. And you can be as well. You can be a son of God. I could be a son of God. We could all follow the Most High and be the sons of God. All right, that's all I can do for you, Jimmy Remy, all right? You take that to Christians. Cut Christians, man. Cut that cousin of yours out. He run his mouth too much. That cousin of yours, those people on your job, cut them, man. Walk into your slavery wearing a shield of David around your neck. And cut Christians if that's what they want. Give Yashakar a hand. Get it on, Yashakar, here to help me out tonight. The water warrior, órale.
Órale, mi general.
Te bendiga.
Yahweh, en el nombre de Yahweh, lo bendiga, mi general.
Gracias, Cardinal. Let's get it on, Akim, all right? Everybody gets it. Let me get the next question from online.
Slacker General, can you please repeat that?
I'll take the next question when you're ready.
Consul, also, South Carolina has a question they've been waiting for a while, sir.
Good luck, you South Carolina. You got it. You're up.
South Carolina? We can't hear you.
We got a debate with an African tonight. Yeah. Say he can make it blind seat.
We can't hear you, South Carolina. We still can't hear you, South Carolina. We'll come back. We'll come back, South Carolina.
No problem, man.
Also, Yatazar had a question, sir.
Yatazar Levi, you're up.
So if I may, I wanted to break down in Isaiah 23, verse 1 to 4. I wanted to know if there's some future prophecy and also who are these nations today.
Right,
Isaiah chapter 23, verse 1. The burden of Tyre, how yea, sheeps of Tarshish, for it is laid waste, so that there is no house, no entering in from the land of Chittim. It is revealed to them.
Okay, now these, if I could, okay, Chittim, I think that's the land that's the star of Molech, I believe, is Chittim. Go look up, and is that the same place? I can't recall, but you can look it up and see if that's the same place. Now, these are all ancient kingdoms that were rich and powerful in their day. So what you want to do is use these precepts whenever you're speaking about a rich and powerful country. All of them are Tyre and Zidon, Tarshish. These countries are rich port countries. They had ports and ships. And whenever you have ports, you have money for rich men. Just like in America, New York is rich because of the harbors, because of all of those rivers. And those rivers mean the Hudson River and this river and that river and the East River means you can bring ships, and ships have merchandise. And rich men get rich through merchandise. And that's why Los Angeles is rich. And all of the rich cities in America are cities that have rich ports. Well, for the same cause, if there's a country that has a port, they can get rich because they can bring merchandise in through those ports. So today you can use these precepts speaking about any rich country. Do you understand now who they were in the past? I believe a lot of these countries were Greek. I can't remember. They were Greek. Chittim sounds like those are the ones who worship Molech. The star of Molech is Chittim or Chiam. You can find that precept to tell me if that's the same one. It could be a different person. But you get my point. I don't remember exactly what nation they are. They're all heathen nations, but I can't recall which one. I'd have to ask Commanding General Yohana, unless one of you brothers have a class before where he broke it down, all right?
I don't want to sir.
Go ahead. Whenever I break them down, I just break them down as heathens who are rich. That's what I've been doing for 20 years. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Be still, ye inhabitants of the isle. Darwam, the merchants of Zidon that pass over the sea, have replenished.
That's what I was just trying to break down to you. Be still, you inhabitants of the sea. Stay still. Because of what? Read that part again.
Darwam, the merchants of Zidon.
You said thou and what'd you say?
Thou, Thou, sir.
Go ahead.
Thou, whom the merchants of Zidon that pass over the sea have replenished.
Meaning you people who have been replenished by Zidon, Tyre and Zidon, they're rich. You better be still. Be careful. Be careful, you countries who think you're rich because you do trade with Sidon or Tyre and Zidon. Keep going.
Verse 3, and by great waters, the seed of Sihor, the harvest of the river, is her revenue.
Levi, I think I just broke that down. Did I not?
Sir.
Do you understand it or no?
What does that mean? This latter part, sir, where it says, and she is a mart of nations.
She is a mart. You ever heard of Walmart? Kmart? What does that mean, Levi?
That means that is a entity that has, I would say, everything that everybody needs. That's where you go.
That's everything that everybody wants. Walmart, Kmart, supermarket. All of that is the same thing, brother. Okay, even laundromat is the same thing. They have everything you want, and that's why they're rich. Give me 9/11 in the Bible. Give it to me in Ezekiel. You were made rich by your traffic.
Ezekiel 28 and 10.
Yeah, that's what I was just breaking down to you, Levi. This is all about them making money. And that's what they do. That's what New York. You sitting in New York. My God. New York is so rich that it's really hard for someone to understand how rich that city is while they complain about migrants coming to that city. To even have any complaint about money in New York is insane. because that city has more wealth than you could dream of. They have the money for the migrants. They have the money for the black people. But they act like if they take in the migrants, they have to take money away from the tribe of Judah in New York. That's a lie. They have enough money for everybody. Read the precept.
Ezekiel 28, verse 16. By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence.
Because you understand that? By the multitude of their merchandise, they have filled the midst of they with violence. All the violence in New York comes from the money in New York, from the money that's sitting right there that poor people can't ever have, and that rich people are committing crime to get. Do you think the only crime in New York is done on the subway? Are you out of your goddamn mind? The crime in New York is done in boardrooms. That's where the crime is done. The people on the subway know that it's happening at the top, and they want their share at the bottom, man. That's why that city is full of crime. And Chicago. Do you think the crime in Chicago is in the Wild Hundreds or in the west side and the south side? No, it's in the boardrooms of the Sears Tower. That's where the crime happens. The people at the bottom just know that they're so close to wealth and money, and they want their share the same way the other criminals get their share. Continue.
And thou hast sinned, therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God.
The Most High said he would cast you out of the mountain of God. You're going to be thrown down from on high because you are a criminal. Continue.
And I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire.
Why? Because before this, they are just blessed and protected by the Most High, and no harm happens to them, but the Most High is going to let them be harmed. Give me the verse I need.
On verse 18. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thy iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic.
By the iniquity of thy what?
Traffic.
What's another word for traffic? Trade. Trade. By the iniquity of thy trade, the World Trade Center. The trade that was going on in the World Trade Center was wicked. It was evil. It oppressed people from all over the globe, especially the children of God. By the iniquity of thy traffic, like drug trafficking, by the iniquity of thy trade. Continue.
Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee.
That happened, brother. That happened on 9/11, which was last week, the anniversary of it. That fire came from the Most High God. You see, so many things that we see happen in America, we see evil men be destroyed, but we think it's not going to happen to us when we become evil. You're going to see evil men die like you never thought it could happen. Why does it happen? So that the next evil man could change his ways before he ever starts out. Learn from this. You learn from evil men. I went and watched the documentary one time of the making of the movie Scarface. Everyone has seen Scarface, right? Well, go look on YouTube about the documentary of the making of Scarface. The writer of Scarface made that book in the 80s because he was trying to give people discouragement from selling drugs. And he said, I'm going to make a movie where a drug dealer gets everything he wants. An Hispanic drug dealer, he gets everything he wants, and then he dies a terrible death. And in the end, he'll realize that he gained the whole world, but he lost his soul, but he died. And the writer of Scarface thought that would discourage drug dealing. It didn't work. It encouraged drug dealing. But I understand his honest effort. He's trying to say, listen, if you sell drugs, you're going to get killed. If you get everything you want, you're going to die. Well, you better look at the World Trade Center. You better look at 9/11. And you better see the people in those buildings had the job you could not get. They got hired in an employment that would never hire you. They were trillionaires, not billionaires, trillionaires. They had everything you always wanted. But what profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his soul? It's done for you to understand that and to have a warning. To have a warning. Don't turn to crime and oppression to get rich. The Most High God takes care of the sparrows, and he will take care of you. Everyone understands, right?
Come on,
You got it, Levi, or not?
Come out of my sir.
Mm-hmm. Asher, come on. Let me get South Carolina. You're up.
Sir, can you hear me right now?
I hear you perfectly now. Go ahead, Warrior. Mm-hmm.
I have a question on Ecclesiastes 2 and 17. The question I had about it was when Solomon was talking about this is all the work that he did was of vanity and vexation of spirit. Starting at 17 through 19. I just wanted to know why did he keep saying that and why did he think that?
No problem. Go ahead and read it.
Okay. This is Ecclesiastes 2 and 17. Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me.
Mm-hmm.
For all this vanity and vexation of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hated all my labor which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me. Now, verse 19. And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool? Yet shall he have rule over all my labor wherein I have labored, and wherein I shew myself wise under the sun. This is also vanity.
Oh boy, let stop right there. Let me explain that to you. Give me 2 verses above it, all right?
Go
ahead.
This verse, Ecclesiastes 2 and 15. Then said I in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool, so it happeneth even to me.
This is what book are we in?
Ecclesiastes, sir.
This is Ecclesiastes written by Solomon, right? Solomon was the wisest person on earth. And Solomon set his heart out to understand wisdom and understand the way of things and why they are. I mean, he looked at life and he wanted to examine it, brother. And I so understand this because this is something that I endeavored to do under commanding General Yohana, to understand folly and the reason of things. This is something I've set my life in the process to understand. Why do people make mistakes? Why do people go off into folly and in error? Why are things the way they are? And many times I've devoted 27 or 30 years to trying to understand it. Solomon did the exact same thing. He wanted to understand why things are the way they are. You get my point? So you have to first understand that to understand this breakdown. You got me, Warrior, South Carolina?
Come on, sir.
All right, start from where I told you to start from, 2 verses above it.
Verse Ecclesiastes 2 and 15. Then said I in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool, so it happeneth even to me.
So he said in himself, listen, there's something that happens to a fool, and it happens to me too. What's that thing? Death. Right. Death happens to a dummy, and it's going to happen to me. I'm going to die, and a fool is going to die. That's what he's getting to. Keep going.
Okay. And why was I then more wise?
So why am I more wise when I'm going to die and the fool is going to die? So what makes me so damn wise? When I'm going to die and this dummy is going to die too. He's an idiot and he's going to die. I'm a wise man and I'm going to die. Continue.
Then I said in my heart that this also is vanity.
What is vanity? Right here. Come on, young warrior in South Carolina. What's vanity?
That they have the same ending.
No, it is not vanity that they have the same ending. It's vanity to think I'm going to die and a fool is going to die. That's vain. That's what's vain. A chicken dies,
Right.
a snake dies, a criminal dies, and a righteous man dies. Now imagine me sitting back going, we all going to die, so what difference does it make? That's vanity. Do you understand?
Okay.
That's what's vain. Because a chicken dies and I die, what does that mean? I should live my life like a chicken? Huh?
Right.
No. So what they die? So what? A chicken dies and I die. But I'm going to live a life a chicken won't ever live.
Right.
So what? A fool dies and I die. So what? Because I'm going to live a life that a fool will never live. He's chastising himself for doubting. He's chastising himself for thinking in such a vain way. Do you understand? Like he's looking at it going, damn, man, what's the point? What's the point of all of this? I die, a fool dies. What's the point? Then I thought to myself, man, that's vanity, man. I shouldn't be thinking like that. That's vanity. Do you understand? Continue.
Verse 16. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever.
Meaning a fool won't get remembered and a wise man won't get remembered. Continue.
Seeing that which now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten.
Meaning everything, when we get 1,000 years from now, they're not going to remember me and they're not going to remember some crackhead on the corner. They'll forget everyone in the future. Continue.
And how dieth the wise man as the fool?
And how does a wise man die and a fool dies? How does that happen? Continue.
Verse 17. Therefore I hated life.
And what did he do? What did he do?
I hated life.
Therefore he hated life. He began to hate life because he realized that he dies, a fool dies, they're all going to be forgotten. So he begins to hate life. Give me another word for hating life. Who knows? Being depressed. Depression. Depression is a monster rock. It's a monster rock. Depression is like a mental illness that everyone gets. That everyone gets. And sometimes depression gets so bad you need medication for it, like an illness. And that's what happens when you begin to say, I don't matter, nothing matters, nothing I do means anything. Let me give you a big key to depression. If you start telling yourself nothing matters, that's depression. It just doesn't matter. Nothing matters, man. Nothing matters. What's the difference? Who cares? I just don't give a fuck. That is depression. That's what that is. When you begin to just say, who cares? Whatever. It just doesn't matter. I just don't give a fuck. You're depressed, Doc. You're depressed. That's a demon. Solomon struggled with this because he had such knowledge and he's examining life. And as you examine life, you begin to realize, wait a minute, I'm going to die. He's going to die. We're all going to die. What difference does all of this make? And then he begins to hate life through his examination of life. Continue.
Okay. Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me.
He begins to hate life because he's going to go work hard, work in a field, build this and build that, build all these amazing things. Keep going.
For all is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Because all of this is just vanity and vexation of spirit. He begins to think about this, to dwell on this, and it begins to hurt him. And that's what happens. And some people call it you thinking too much. You're just thinking too much. You're getting all involved in your mind and this. A lot of you think about the Wakanakis up. That's on your mind, the Akanakams. You're thinking about it. It's on your mind. You want to know this and want to know that. And before you know it, you're just hating yourself, hating life, hating everything. Solomon went through that. in his examination of folly and where it came from, his examination of the meaning of life. Continue.
Oh God. Yeah, I hated all my labor, which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me.
He said, listen, I'm working so hard for things that I'm never going to get to enjoy. My son is going to get to enjoy it. I'm working hard building up all of this money and all of this wealth. I'm never going to get to enjoy it because I'm going to pass it to my son. He's going to get to enjoy it. All I'll do is work hard. He begins to realize that I'm working this hard just to give my son money. I'm working this hard just to give my son. This makes no damn sense. He's thinking about it and thinking about it, thinking too goddamn much. And that's making him go crazy. Continue.
Verse 19. And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool?
And I don't know if my son is going to be worthy of all this work I've done. I done did all this goddamn work and doing everything. I might have a bastard as a son, an idiot. I might have a dummy. I go pass my kingdom down to my son. He'll blow everything I gave him on whores and gambling. So I don't know if my son is worthy of all of this work. Keep going.
Yet shall he have rule over all my labor wherein I have labored.
Yet he's going to be the one in charge of everything I pass down to him, even though I don't even know if my son is going to be worthy of it. Continue.
And wherein I have shewed myself wise under the sun, this is also vanity.
But even though, wherein means even though I have shown myself wise, this is also vanity. What is vanity, warrior?
Like meaningless, like nothing.
I know, but what is vanity that he's doing? What is? Go ahead.
Him complaining and showing depression.
Give him a hand. That's right. That's vanity. Imagine you sitting down there, you amassed in wealth and power, saying, but what if my son is stupid? What if my son is weak? Nigga, shake that off, fuck. Shake that off. Forget all of that stupid thinking. All of that thinking about the future and all of that nonsense and what's going to happen when I'm dead. Who cares? If you're dead, who gives a damn what's going to happen? This is what I'm doing today, y'all. I'm taking down enemies. Done. That's it. I find an enemy and I wipe him the fuck out. And that is all. And I don't care about nothing else. Whatever my sons do when I'm dead, that's up to them. But I'm finding enemies and wiping them the fuck out. And that is all I'm doing. Why? Because I'm not worried about what I'm going to do when I'm dead. I'm worried about the life that I'm going to live. I want to be a conqueror. I want to be a warrior. I want to be these things. And if my son squanders it, let him. What the hell does it make difference does it make to me? That's his life that he'll do. What do you want to do with the one you have? You understand? That's what Solomon, and you want to see the conclusion of the whole matter? At the end of all of this, Solomon said, let's have the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep the commandments. Enough of this thinking bullshit. Enough of that. I'm done with thinking. I'm done with contemplating the meaning of life. Atlanta ain't contemplating the meaning of life. They go into camp. If the Muslims come out, the police come out, the purple pigs come out, they are staying when the purple pigs leave. Put Atlanta back on the screen. Atlanta, where you at? Atlanta, out there that day when you battled those purple pigs, who was the last one to leave the field? Atlanta. Microphone.
Oh, Slocky. Yes. We were the last one to leave.
Give him a hand. That. You understand? The purple pigs came out that day to kill us, to assault us. They left. They left. We stayed there and continued camp. Why? Not because of what will happen after we are dead, but because of the kind of man I want to say I am today. Atlanta can say something about themselves that very few men can say. They can say that they have upheld their integrity. They have upheld their oath. They have not cowered in the face of tragedy, in the face of being outnumbered. I want to say that about myself. My son will have to decide what he wants to say. Future generations will have to decide. I don't give a fuck about what's going to happen after I'm dead. I care about the life I'm living right now. You understand, Atlanta, South Carolina? Do you need more?
No, so that's it.
No problem. Give me a question from online.
Slide, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because I probably had one question.
Go ahead, Warrior.
Yeah, explanation on, sir, if I could, Ecclesiastes 9 and 11.
Go ahead.
I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all.
Listen, that's a perfect precept. This is what Solomon was. All these books are written by Solomon as he's trying to understand things and trying to get it. And then he realized that what? Everybody gets their chance to be glorious. Everybody gets their chance to be great. You have to just decide. Decide. Atlanta decided that day. Kentucky decided. You understand? Kansas City decided. Commanding General Yohana has decided many times. It's just a decision. It's just where you say, you know what? I know what I was in the past. I know what my father was. I know that the bloodline I come from has flaws and has weakness in it. And the bloodline after me might be weak, but I will get my opportunity to show my quality. I will get my chance to show my quality. What will you do with it, South Carolina? You understand, right?
So that can be used as a precept, right, sir?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next question online. Any question? Come on, Asher. Show me some of the
one.
Go ahead.
Real quick, out of one. So if I may, out of one, I wanted to know, as we go out in the streets, I don't want to gain power and take ground. It may happen that, like, I'll use today as an example. Myself and also Shagapon, we went to the 28th precinct because they had a clergy meeting. So we went there to establish our presence because
do you have video of that up?
We got two videos when we was in front of the precinct. Right? We also
play it? Do we need to play it? Do you think that will be beneficial or no?
I don't think so.
All right, go ahead then.
Unless you want to see them, sir.
No, I thought maybe you would want everyone to see it. Would it explain what you're saying?
Sir, because that was outside. It wasn't. It didn't happen while we were inside.
All right, go ahead.
But as we enter, certain rooms where certain people are revered in the world, we know in the ISUPK only the priests and prophets are revered because the people in the world, they do not uphold the same moral code that we live by. Mm-hmm. Now, when we enter these rooms, people in the world, they look at us like we sometimes angels that fall from the sky because of our appearance. And we may have a heathen that say, you know what, can I take a picture with you? And of course, we are being seasoned with salt in dealing with these people. How do I not tell them I don't take pictures with heathen? Get out of my face. How do we if you get what I'm saying, sir, handle these type of situation around in these environment?
I got you. Okay, why wouldn't you take a picture with him? Right.
Done, sir. That's what I'm trying to get to, sir.
There's no reason now, unless you just don't want to take a picture. You don't have to take a picture with a heathen, but taking a picture with a heathen is not like having sex with them. You get that, right? It's not unlawful to take a picture with a heathen. There's no law against that in any way. And of course, anyone could snap a picture while you talk to a heathen. Okay, what you don't want to do is, don't invent laws. Is there something unlawful about taking a picture with a heathen? Levi.
La, sir.
Right, then you do it if you want to. Don't do it if you don't want to. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You get my point?
Come on, sir.
If you want to do it, do it. Now, this much I know, that the Israelite School of UPK, we enjoy a good working relationship with city officials all over the world.
Right.
We do that. So we go into meetings with city officials, with the mayors, and Commanding General Yohana encourages you to meet with the rulers of your city. You should go do it. Paul did it. Paul went and met with all types of rulers and Agrippa and different men like that. It's a good thing for you to know who is in charge of your city and for them to know who you are. It will help you to fish. Let me tell you, brothers, something you might forget. The number one job of an officer is to fish. That's your job. That's your job. If you're a trooper, then your job is to get yourself together. It's to get yourself in order. If you are an officer, you are a commissioned officer in the UPK. That means your number one mandate is to increase with men, women, and resources. That's your number one job. That's it. Your number one job is not to get yourself together. If you're an officer, you're a trooper, that's your time to get yourself together. But if you're an officer out, I better see the New York school increase. The New York school better get more subscribers. You better look at your subscriber list and say, this is my subscriber list since I became an officer of 50. Now I'm 5,000. Have I increased my subscribers? If a person will not push subscribe on their phone, then they're never going to join the truth. They're never going to join. You better go out and get subscribers. You better be out in those meetings, in those city council meetings, trying to raise the profile of your camp so that you can fish into the school. Don't you sit back and rest on the men you have now. You can't rest on those men. You have got to replenish your ranks. So yes, I would take a picture with Shatan if it meant I would get more famous. You see me right there? I'll be right there like, hey.
If I may, sir.
Here with the demon Shatan. I'm here. Now you know I'm here. You already know Shatan. You know him already. Now you know me. Now come check out my website. Come see my YouTube page and my TikTok page. I got a fish out. I can't sit back thinking I'm some big bad general when I have no followers. Do you understand? Yeah, I take a picture with Adolf Hitler, raise him from the grave. Me, myself. Now, if you're uncomfortable with it, don't do it. But if Adolf needs me to take a picture with it, tell me when to show up, Bach. I'll be there. Asher?
And we were looking glorious, sir. They all wanted to take pictures with us.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not? Let me ask you a question. How does it help the camp for you to not get pictures that day? Like, I've never understood that. So how did you increase your camp by no one knowing you were there? How does that help? It doesn't, right? It doesn't help by not being seen. It only helps if you're seen. Jesus Christ said, don't put your lamp under a bed. Don't hide your candlestick. Let your light shine. So if I'm anywhere, come get a picture with me. Share it. Put it on Instagram. Put it on Facebook. Put it on TikTok. Ask me a question. Give me some subscribers because I'm not in this truth to just sit back and be happy that I'm in the truth, I'm supposed to increase this school. And if I'm not, what in the hell am I doing here? Give me some questions from online.
It's like, sir, time check is 8:45, sir.
Cross the line is coming up, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cross the line. Do I clip it now or take one more?
No, we're straight. We're good to 9:30, sir.
All right, go ahead. Next question.
Come on, sir. The next question I have, sir, is from Officer Mashamar. He says,
Salaki. Mashamar hand. That's the warrior from Atlanta, right? Give him a hand. He's no coward up. He's Atlanta brave, this brother right here. Go ahead, Mashamar.
He said, sir, may I have a breakdown on making a promise to the Most High in Ecclesiastes 5:5?
Go ahead, warrior. Go ahead and break it down. Read the scripture for him, please.
Sir, whoever has it.
Also, Asher, we have a lot more questions.
Yes, sir. We got about 7 more questions.
I'm going to try to get these questions answered. Okay, come on, y'all. Mashamar, break it down for him. Let me try to move fast. Come on.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 5. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
Who is that reading like he's on the radio? That's a radio reading brother right there. Who's that? Let me see who that is. He's like on that brother's on the radio. He probably gets tons of tail with that voice. You seem like you seem like you use that voice for tail. If so, I encourage it. Well done. Give him a hand. I encourage that voice for tail. For tail retrieval and acceptance. Go ahead and read it one more time.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 5.
Listen close, sisters. You hear that? Go ahead.
Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
The question was, may I have a breakdown on making a okay, I got you now. Meaning what? It's better to not make a promise than to make a promise and break it. That's that. Meaning, if you make a vow, you better pay your goddamn vow. The Bible says this. Christ said this. Hold on one second. Christ said this. Christ said, "Let your yea be yea, and your nay be nay." Meaning, let your yes be a yes. Let your no be a no. Now, this is so heavy that most of you don't understand it until you break it. You brothers took a vow when you're in the Israelite school of UPK. Sometimes I wonder if the camp leaders are making it clear to the men that they're taking a vow before God when they become a trooper, when they become an officer, when they get a rank raise, that the sisters have taken a vow before God. Camp leaders, make sure that you tell them that. This is not just a ceremony. It's not just, custom. When you get your head anointed with oil, you are making a vow to pay with something. You might say, I'm going to pay, this much money and donate it to the school. That's a vow. You might say, I'm going to give my life to the Israelite school of UPK. That's a vow that you did not make to the Israelite school of UPK. You made that vow to the Most High God. That's right. You made it to him. You said, Lord, I will follow out the duties of a captain. I will follow out the duties of an officer, of a trooper, of a sister in the Israelite school of UPK. Now, if you don't understand it, don't do it. It's better that you just don't come into the truth. Don't take your vow. Don't do it. Say no. When the brothers come to you to take your test, say, sir, I'm not ready. That's honorable. I'll take that. Back in 1995, I made an oath. I took a vow. And then I took subsequent vows when I became 5,000, when I became a 1 shield general, when I became a 12 shield general. I took other vows out that I am honor bound to keep for the rest of my life. That's that. I don't have a choice. I don't even think like I have a choice. I took a vow. And it's better not to take it if you're not going to keep it. That's what this is talking about. And I'm talking about my vow that I made to the UPK. But you make vows for different things. You better not make it if you don't want to keep it. I pray you understand. Anything else?
That's it on that, sir.
Next question.
This one is from Sister Kapataza.
Go ahead, Sister Kapataza. Sir, can I get a breakdown on Ecclesiastes 7:21 to 22? No problem, Sister Kapataza. Go ahead and read it for her.
What is this?
Ecclesiastes 7 verses 21 to 22.
I got it. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7 and verse 21.
Ecclesiastes.
Oh, Ecclesiastes, Salakia.
Ecclesiastes, correct.
Ecclesiastes 7 and 21. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 21. Also, take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. Verse 22. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others. Verse 23. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off. And
verse 22.
Salah.
21 to 22.
21 and 22. All right. That's all, Ardawan.
No problem. Give me 18.
Verse 18. All right. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 18. It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this. Yea, also from this withdraw not thine hand, for he that feareth God shall come forth of them all.
Okay, keep reading. Keep going.
Khan. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city.
That's what you need. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men in the city. Wisdom is the absolute most important thing that a man needs to be strong. Wisdom. You need the ability to make decisions, Ak. It's everything. It's greater than having 10 strong men in the city. It's better to be wise. The Israelite School of UPK, we are more wise than the purple pigs.
That's right.
We're more wise than the police. We're more wise than the corrupt cops, than the criminals, than the drug dealers, than the terrorists. We're more wise than them. And because of that, we will be victorious over everyone in the end. Because we have wisdom that they do not have. Continue.
This is verse 20. For there is not a just man upon earth that doeth good and sinneth not.
For there is not. I'm sorry, keep reading.
And also take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee.
Meaning what? That when you look at people, right, you might go to think, this person has never done anything wrong. Everyone has done something wrong. Everyone. Even though people try to vaunt themselves like they're perfect, they're not. They have committed great crimes against the Most High. If you're wise, you'll use your failings to be a strength. You'll use the fact that you have failed the Most High God, that you have done things that are wrong to fuel success in the future. That's something Commanding General Yohana taught all of us. Instead of feeling like failures because of who we were in the past, we use that to be able to show God that we're worthy of him in the future. Many men don't understand that. Many men let their conscience beat them up for what they've done in the past. And because of that, they think I'm not worthy. I'm nothing. When instead you can say, like Paul said, that I besought the Most High 3 times that he should remove this thorn from my side. And Christ told him, my mercy is sufficient. Your pain that you have inside of you from the things that you've done, from the things you want to do, they can fuel you to be a better person. So you don't have to feel like you're less than because someone else never committed those crimes. Someone else never did the things that you've done. So you might think that you're less than them, that you can't battle them because they've never been to jail. They've never unalived someone. They've never had the sexual misconduct that you've had. So you can think they're better than you. They're not better than you. They're not. They have things that they've done as well. You have this benefit. Your bad actions in the past are fueling your redemption. It's fueling you to be a better person. They're just a hypocrite, faking like they're perfect when they're not. That's right. Continue.
Verse 22, for oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others.
You know what you've done in the past. You know that you've cursed others in the past. You've done evil things in the past. Continue.
Verse 23, all this have I proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me.
All this have I proved by wisdom. I've said I would be wise, but back then it was far from me. I didn't have wisdom back then. This is all the things that Solomon did to try to be wise. He made it his business to be wise. He sought it out the same way a basketball player seeks a perfect three-point shot. How does he do it? He gets in the gym. He shoots 500 of them every day. That's what Solomon did with wisdom, Mark. He wanted it. He wanted it and he sought it out. And he tried and he tried and he tried. Then he got it. Continue.
Verse 24, that which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out?
Something that's far away, man, who can learn that? It's far away. It's not here right now. It's far away. Who can learn that? Continue.
Verse 25, I applied mine heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom.
That's what I brought out earlier. That's what Solomon did. Did I break down the precept that they asked about? The question? I passed it, Salakia. For time's sake, let me move on, warrior, all right? Go ahead, next.
Sir. The next question is from Officer Malakma. He would like a breakdown on Genesis 2 and 23. Is this also saying that our lineage comes from a man?
Okay, well, that's the only place that lineage can come from. But I'll break it down for you. Genesis 2 and 23. A lineage can only come from sperm that made you. That's where lineage comes from. Sex from a man's penis. Sperm. Go ahead and read it for him.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, and verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh.
Absolutely. A bone of my bone means flesh and bone is family. Like if I say this man is my flesh and blood, this man is my bone, meaning I'm saying he's my family. When Adam had sex with Eve, he said, this is flesh of my flesh, meaning Eve was already in his family and he created a new family with someone that was already in his family. So like, for instance, if you're a black or Latino man or Hispanic man and you have sex with a black and Latino woman, she was already in your family and you have just created a new family with someone who was already in your family. So she is flesh of your flesh, flesh from your flesh, bone from your bone. Now, if you have sex with a white woman or an African woman, she is flesh from another flesh. She is bone from another bone, because she's your family now because you had sex with her, but she does not come from your flesh. But if you have sex with a black and Latino woman, she is flesh from your flesh, bone from your bone, family from your family. Everybody get this. Was that his question or no?
Come on, sir.
Sir.
Next question. Next question.
Concert. This one is from Sister Yakar.
Yakar, the Sister Yakar with all those beautiful UPK sisters. Give them a hand.
That's right.
Let me tell you something that I hope I don't have to tell you. There is no woman on the planet that looks better, smells better, feels better than a UPK woman.
That's right.
All other women are ugly. All of them. Those purple bitches are disgusting. All of them. I wouldn't touch any of them. And let me tell you something else. I'm finding out lately that a lot of these purple bitches are sniffing around my sons and brothers. I'm hearing about it. All of you purple sluts out there, you know the brother, these purple women, the purple men won't have sex with them because the purple men can only have sex after they get a marriage license. And if you don't have a marriage license, the purple pigs won't have sex with you. So you know what's happening? All of these purple women that need to get a good pleasure time with them, they're coming to my brothers, trying to have sex with my brothers because my brothers will tie fire to that purple tail. And they're coming to my brothers to have sex because they can't even get sex in the purple church. They can't even get sex over there because their men are so Christian that they won't even have sex with a woman that they don't have a marriage license with unless they murder her like Joy Morgan. But if they're not going to murder you, they don't even have sex with you. So what do purple women do? They come over here to the UPK where they are sure to find a hard penis. Sure to find one. And they get just what they came here for. You purple bitches, if you come over here to the UPK, you better be ready to change your life. Don't come here and try to have sex with all of Commanding General Yohana's sons and think that that's it. Just because no purple boy will have sex with you because he's half gay and full purple. If you come here to get sex, you better understand that you better change your life.
That's right.
Dance. Y'all know, type in the chat room if you were in the IUIC as a woman and you came here to have sex with a UPK man because you knew where the hard penis was. Type into the chat. Say it right now in the chat. Say it right now and tell everybody that you used to be in the IUIC. You knew that there was no hard penis over there. You came in here to find out where the hard penis is, and you're getting it right now. Type it right in this chat room right now. Do it. Do it right now. Keep going, Asher, until I see someone come on the screen. I know who the hell you are. I already know it. So let me see if you'll confess it before the world. Go ahead.
I don't see anything yet, sir.
Yeah, they better start typing, or else I'll run the list down. And you brothers, if your wife was in the purple group and left that group just to get your penis inside of her, you better tell her to go type in this chat room. You better tell her to tell the world what you can find in here that you can't get in the IUIC. Give Mariam a hand. Go ahead and tell her, Mariam Bunyashakar. Are you confessing it?
No, sir. She just put a looking eye face.
I don't know what the hell those eyes mean. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I'm too old for that. Greg Neal, I don't understand none of that. All right, I want sisters who will confess it. Go ahead, Asher. Finish the questions, man.
Sir. The next question I have, sir, is from Officer Gadayawan.
Mm-hmm.
He would like a breakdown on Jeremiah chapter 31, verses 29 and 30.
Go
Specifically, ahead. Did Christ fulfill this by healing the sick and giving us life?
No problem. Go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 29. In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge.
Absolutely, warrior. What's his name again, Asher?
Gadayawan, sir.
Yeah, the officer or Gadayawan, Christ fulfilled this. Meaning in the times past, your father did something wrong and you had to suffer. Your father ate the sour grape, but your teeth were set on end. So he ate something bad and you were the one that had to hurt for it. That's how it was. That's how we were all born here in captivity, because of something our fathers did. But Christ came to give his life so we could all start over. So now when you suffer, it's because of what you've done. It's not because of what your father did. Once you come into the knowledge of Christ and you become born again, if you pay for a crime, it's your crime. It's not your father's crime. It's because you decided to leave the truth and go back into the world to get high or to have sex with prostitutes or whores. So you're going to go to jail. You're going to suffer. You're going to die. But it's not because your people betrayed the Most High in Egypt. It's because of the sin you committed last week, last night. You understand? Correct. Next.
Sir. The next question I have is from Officer Amawan. Slakia, brother.
Amawan, go ahead.
He said, sir, what is the league with stones in Job 5 and 23, where it says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee?
Go ahead and read it.
Job 5 and 23.
The book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 23. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field.
I better start seeing some Texas from the Midwest out there. I'm going to start saying the names. I'm going to get angry. I want purple women who were in purple, who left the purple group to come have sex with this hard UPK rod. And I want to see you type in the chat room and confess it and tell everyone. Or else when you call me for help, I'm going to say, go tell Nasty Nate to fix your marriage. Don't call me for it anymore. That's your last warning. Keep going.
Khan. And the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want.
Okay, skip 2 verses above it fast.
Khan. The book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
The Most High is talking about the blessing that comes when you start to obey the Most High God. Well, you're hid from the scourge of the tongue. The scourge of the tongue is when people are able to say, you're a thief, you're a liar, you're a murderer. Well, if you will keep the commandments of the Most High God up, no one will ever have to chastise you for doing something evil, because you're not doing something evil. Continue.
Verse 22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh.
At destruction, like when you see destruction and famine, you'll laugh, because you know that's not happening to you. Right now, you're going to see in these last days terrible things happen, brother. But you know that you and your house are protected, because now you serve the Lord thy God. So at destruction and famine, you'll laugh. Continue.
Khan. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
And you won't be afraid of, what's the beast? The dogs and the vultures and the different things that eat dead bodies and that prey on people that are weak. They won't prey on you. You'll be fine. You'll be able to defend yourself. You won't be the things that destroy everyone, and everyone is afraid of these things. You have no need to be afraid of those things, because the Most High God will protect you. Continue.
Verse 23. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field.
For you will be in league with the stone of the field. Keep going.
And the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
And the beasts of the field will be at peace with thee. Keep reading.
Verse 24. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. And
what does it mean to be in league with the stones of the field? Who can? I'm going to try to let you answer that for only 1 second. I don't have time. In league means I'm joined with them. I'm one of them. Who knows? The stones of the field are,
if I may, sir.
Asher.
They're hard in their position, or
they're hard. That's why the purple bitches come have sex with us.
That's right.
Because we're hard. Yes, we're in league with the stones of the field. You see a rock sitting out there in the dirt, I'm like him. I'm like that rock. I don't move. I don't budge. I don't change. Nothing. Nothing moves me at all.
Right.
Nothing. There's nothing that could happen that would make me betray my oath, that would make me shy from a battle, that would make me betray my brethren. I'm like a rock sitting outside. I'm in league with him. That's that. I'm like a rock that sits outside. I am stone cold hard. And because of that, I can't be moved by calamity or tragedy or things like that. The purple pigs can't say that. They're always moved, always shaken. You go to them, they get a stupid marriage license with some bitch. They can't even put a penis in you. Think that moves me, a marriage license? It means nothing. Nothing at all. It doesn't matter. What matters is the commitment that I make before the Lord thy God. That is what moves me. I'm like a rock. I'm in league with the rocks. Everyone understands?
Okay.
Anything else?
Sir, I have another question here. This is from Officer Kazak Thamar. Shalom, General. Can I get a breakdown of Leviticus 26 and 26? Someone asked me if the 10 women taking your bread was baby mamas getting child support.
Yes, it is. Wait, Leviticus. Yes, it is. The 10 women getting your bread is baby mamas getting child support. That's exactly what it is. You better watch what in the hell you're doing and watch who you're having sex with and watch who you have a baby with, because before you know it, they're going to split your bread. You know, black people and Hispanics wrote the Bible. They're going to split that pan, split it up. They're going to split your bread because you went and had sex with all of these dummies, and they split your bread. Yes, this is a child support scripture. Next.
Sir. Next question I have is from Nazam Anna. May I have a breakdown on Luke chapter 6, verses 28 through 30, Baba Kasha?
Go ahead. Read it.
This is the book of Luke chapter 6 and verse 28. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you.
Bless them that curse you, and pray for them that despitefully use you. What is this precept about? This precept is the end of black on black crime, Latino on Latino crime, Latino on black crime, black on Latino crime. The cure for hatred among each other is to forgive one another, brother. That's the cure. And so many people would like it to be another cure, but it's not. Someone has to eat the loss. You eat it. Who eats the loss? The strong one. You murdered my brother. You murdered my friend. You did that to me. But I know that I have murdered other people's brothers and other people's friends. So I am going to forego the revenge that I am owed by you. I'm giving it up with the hope that the men who I owe revenge to, who should kill me, that they'll give up their revenge on me. I will love my brother as I love myself. I will not take revenge on you because I don't want other people to take revenge on me. So many people use this precept to talk about white people when this has nothing to do with white people, because your love for white people is not voluntary. It's compulsory. You understand? You don't have a choice to accept white people and to obey white people. If you don't obey white people, you don't have a job. You don't have a place to live. You don't work. Everyone, no matter how you feel about white people, you will say, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. How may I help you? Because love for white people, you are compelled to love them. But love for Mexicans, love for Dominicans, love for Puerto Ricans is voluntary. You could hate them. You wouldn't lose your job. You wouldn't lose your housing. You wouldn't lose your employment. You know that because you're black and you hate every black person. You hate them all. You don't lose a job over hating black people. You're black and you hate black people. You don't lose your job over that. You have to voluntarily love black people. So Christ is trying to give you the reason to love them. You don't need a reason to love white people. Money is the reason to love white people. Their military, their police are the reason to love white people. But why should I love a spick? Why should I love a nigger? I have no reason to love him unless I decide I'm going to love him even though he's hurt me, even though he's offended me. That's what Jesus Christ came to do. Jesus Christ came to mend the breaches in this house, to heal the wounds that we have amongst each other. The tribe of Judah has done terrible things to the tribe of Issachar. The tribe of Simeon has done terrible things to the tribe of Levi. Terrible things. So now what? So do we forget about the pain that we have caused each other in the past? Yes, because I want someone to forget about the pain I've caused to my brothers in the past. So now I forgive. Now I do what? Read that again.
Bless them that curse you.
So now so my brother curses me, I bless him. I don't ever pray for something bad to happen to another black or Latino. I don't curse. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Why? Because I don't want him to want anything bad to happen to me. You understand? Christ said what? In the Lord's Prayer. Lord, forgive our debts, even as we forgive our debtors. I have harmed people. I have unalived people. I have hurt people. So if someone unalived my cousins, my friends, and hurt them, I have to forgive them the same way I want someone to forgive me. Or else I don't get forgiven for the bad things I've done. If I don't give forgiveness for the bad things that other people have done to me. This is not talking about white people. White people are going to get forgiveness from everybody because they are the police, they are the bank, they are the student loan, they are the people that you need to love to survive. But what makes you love a black person? Jesus Christ. What makes you love a Latino, a Haitian, a Benjamite? Jesus Christ does. Continue.
And pray for them which despitefully use you.
So they use me, they hurt me, I'm praying for them. Why? Because I want someone to pray for me because I've used people and I've harmed people. This is the end of black on black crime, Latino on Latino crime. All the Norteños think about is their friends that have been killed by the Sureños. But instead, the Norteños should think I have killed Serranos. I've done that. And the Serranos should think, I have killed Norteños. Instead of thinking about your friends who they have killed, think about their friends who you've killed. Think about that. And if you want to be forgiven for that, then you better forgive someone else. You see, that's the power of Jesus Christ. He has you forgive people that you have no reason to forgive. Everyone has forgiven white people for the Spanish Inquisition, for slavery, for everything, because white people hold the keys to your fate. They hold the money that you need to survive. So you're going to forgive white people no matter what. But why would you forgive a brother who's poor like you, who murdered your friend? Because you murdered his. You murdered his. Everyone understands.
Counselor.
Anything else?
Counselor, the time check is 9:21. A brother would like to know if you can speak a little bit on the memorial blowing of the trumpets.
Memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. When is that? Am I doing a class before that?
No, it's tomorrow, sir.
All right, give me the precept. Real briefly, the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets is remembering a time in Israel when we were one nation and we went out and we came in as an army when a trumpet blew. So the best way to understand it, today the word alurim or alarm means trumpet. That's where that term comes from. Alarm comes from alurim, which means trumpet. So when you hear a fire alarm, you know to exit the building. You hear a fire alarm, you exit the building. When children hear the alarm for recess, they know it's time for recess. When they hear the lunch bell, they know it's time for lunch. Well, there was a time in the nation of Israel when we could recognize each sound to know what we should do when that sound happened. So there was one sound that said, there's danger. Pick up your arms and go to your assigned positions to defend the city. It was like, da-da, 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 da-da. We knew, grab your weapon, grab your sword, grab your bow and arrow, and get to your position because we are under attack. There was another arm that said, get to the gates of the city because we're leaving the city to go fight an army. The armies of Israel came and went based on the blowing of a trumpet. But then, of course, we grew as a people. We grew and we expanded. And now we're all spread out. We're not together anymore. But the Most High never wants us to forget the time when we went out and we came in by the blowing of a trumpet so that we can remember it if we have to do it again. And that time is coming when you're going to hear the sound of a trumpet and know that Jesus Christ is back, that it's judgment day when Gabriel, Gabar Ya'Allah, will blow his trumpet and you'll know, da-da, da-da, the armies of the living God are here to deliver the afflicted upon this earth, to deliver the slaves, to deliver the oppressed upon this earth. There's a time coming when you're going to hear a trumpet, and that trumpet will mean it's time for your salvation. And so because of that, every year we remember when there was a time when we came and went by the blowing of a trumpet. Everyone understands. I just broke it down for you. You can just apply the precepts and it'll be nice and flat for you, all right? Asher, anything else?
Consul, we got 5 minutes left. We haven't gone over any of the articles or anything like that. You want to save it for next class, sir?
We probably can we do one for 5 minutes? Give me the one with the police officer sitting in a chair, or unless you think we don't have time. If so, just tell me.
Consul, hold on.
The police
officer. The interview?
Yes, the interview. Unless you want to play the one when you and the brothers went to the police chief. You can tell me that too.
Sir, I got this video here that you want.
Go ahead.
Are you fixing to shoot me? Are you about to jump on me? Or what are you about to do? Because of the tone and the mannerisms and the egregious manner that was being, the conversation was with me. Yes, I felt, honestly, I know I
No, not this one. This is a good one now. Give me another one. Give me the other one with the cop. Did I send you the other one? Oh, this is a nice one.
Yes, sir.
Better one for 5 minutes. Go ahead.
I think it might be this one here, sir.
Uphold the law, even when it comes to policing their own.
Now hold up. Pause this for a second now.
It's Georges County.
Pause this. Put me back on the screen.
Yes,
this
sir.
is a perfect video. And this brother is about a matter of conscience. This is a black police officer. I forget where he was. He's going to tell his story about him upholding the law. This police officer did what we want all police officers to do. You see, the purple pigs, they're full of a ton of corrupt cops. But this cop was not corrupt. This cop, his heart was changed because of the love of his people. And look at what happened to him because of it. Go ahead and play it out.
Police officers are sworn to uphold the law, even when it comes to policing their own.
In a story you'll see only on 4, a current Prince George's County officer has agreed to tell his story about the backlash he says he faced after reporting another officer for assaulting a handcuffed teen.
Investigative reporter Tracy Wilkins has been following this case for years now, and she joins us with an exclusive update. Tracy.
Well, Officer Michael Brown says he thought he was doing the right thing when he reported Corporal Daryl Warmoth for use of force violations. But Brown says he wasn't prepared for what came next, an investigation that yielded a trove of text messages Warmoth exchanged with fellow officers that were not only racist in nature, but exposed what some county officials say was a call to abandon Brown and others in the line of duty. Brown says even worse, his own department hasn't done enough to support and protect whistleblowers like him.
Gardner, we got him in sight running down Davis Avenue.
This Prince George's County Police chopper video shows officers responding to a call for help in October 2020.
We go to assist an officer who goes over the radio channel and says, I have one running.
Second officer approaching.
Corporal Michael Brown said that's his partner, Thomas Lester, stopping a person matching the description of an armed suspect.
He's pretty compliant, get him in handcuffs, walking him back to the car. Then this officer walks up.
By officer, he means Corporal Daryl Warmoth. This police helicopter video shows the beginning of what Warmoth did next.
He chokes him. It starts with a throat jab, open-handed throat jab to the neck, and he grabs him around the neck and pulls him away from another officer.
Brown says the teenager, then 17-year-old Kayvon Hines, cried out.
Y'all gonna let him do that to me? And at that point, it kind of grabbed at my heart.
Turns out Kayvon wasn't
Stop,
the suspect.
Asher. Stop, Asher. This is a 17-year-old boy. Now, for you young brothers, you don't understand what 17. 17 to me is like 5. It's like a child. This 17-year-old boy looks at him with the same face that he has. His same face. And the 17-year-old boy, the police caught him. He was compliant. He was handcuffed. And then a white cop goes up to him and begins to choke him. The 17-year-old boy looks at another black man, not a child, a grown man, and he says, "Are you going to let him do this to me?" Did you see the police officer? He was getting choked up. He was getting choked up at remembering it. That feeling is the spirit of Jesus Christ. That feeling of, I'm you. Are you going to let them hurt me? Are you going to let them do this to me? The cop said it grabbed him. He was compelled. That feeling, brother, you have to feed it. You have to let it grow in you. It's righteous. It's a people who you don't have to love this 17-year-old black boy. You have to decide to love him, but you are compelled to love the white police officer that's choking him. He doesn't need your love. He's going to get your love because you loving him means a paycheck for you. But how will that 17-year-old black boy get love? You'll have to be moved to compassion for him. Are you going to let him do this to me? That's what Commanding General Yohana has been trying to teach us. Are you going to let them do this to us? Are you going to allow this? Won't you do anything? Don't you care about me? Don't you have the power to stop this? Why are we called a hate group? Because we're trying to inspire compassion, kindness, and forgiveness to a people that will never get it unless they are convinced to give it. Keep going.
But what Wormuth did,
I think everyone on scene was shocked that witnessed it.
everyone may have been shocked, but only Brown and Lester reported Wormuth for use of force violations, according to court documents.
We're trained not to put any kind of hands on anyone's neck.
Wormuth was eventually charged in a criminal investigation and convicted of second-degree assault and misconduct. But it was something investigators found on Wormuth's cell phone during the case that led to new concern.
Pause it for 1 second. So the brother did his job. He did what was right, and he reported the crime that he witnessed. He reported that this cop choked this man and assaulted him, and the white police officer was convicted of assault. And then guess what happened? Keep going.
It ends there, sir.
Oh my God! I only gave you part one. Let me
Yes.
tell you. They went on to plot to have him killed. They went on to find out what his number was so that when he called for backup, they would not come to back him up when he needed help. They went on to call him a snitch. Next week, I'll give you part 2 of what happened to this brother. We shouldn't be called racist because we're asking for the one people who don't get any forgiveness to receive some. For the one people that don't get any compassion to receive some. White people don't need our help. Their money is where their help comes from. Their military. But what's going to help a 17-year-old boy who looks just like you? Don't let them do this to us. Don't let them do this to us. With that, let me pass the class over to the officer. Let me give a hand to South Carolina. Let me give a hand to Atlanta. Let me give a hand to Chicago. Let me give a hand to the Rio Grande. Let me give a hand to ISUPK Mexico. Hold on 1 second, Mexico. I'm going to try to say it right now, right? Hold on 1 second. Ending announced, which means Yashikar, let me say it right now while you're there, okay?
Sí, mi general.
Okay, stand by. And so I'm going to say the entire thing, and then you'll tell me what to say at the end.
Sí, mi general.
Okay. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa. Please, what else?
Pero la iglesia tiene toda la culpa.
Slow it down. Say it again.
Pero la iglesia
tiene. Pero la iglesia, that means with your church.
Sí, mi general.
Okay, go ahead.
Tiene toda la culpa.
Tiene toda la culpa.
La culpa.
Tiene toda. Say it again.
Tiene toda la culpa.
Tiene toda la culpa. What does that mean?
It's all his fault, out of one.
It's
but
all
it's
their
all
fault.
the church's fault, concert.
It's all the church's fault. Well said. Keep going.
That would be it, mi general.
Okay, so I just add that. Tu iglesia es culpal. Say that word, culpalpa. Say that.
Salaki, I don't want. Tu iglesia tiene toda la culpa.
Okay, you got to send that to me. I don't think I have that.
I sent it to you through Messenger. I don't want and through messages.
Okay. I got it. Okay, I'm going there right now. I see it right here. Hold on. Stand by. Missing is tu iglesia es. Okay, I can't pronounce that. C-U-L.
Oh, Salaki, I don't want. Tu iglesia es culpable.
Culpable. That's the word. I got it now. Tu iglesia es culpable de todo. 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 It's all the church's fault. With that, cuídate. Nos vamos.
Órale.
Órale.
Prajda.
Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majum, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Maj Shabbat. Amajum, Barak, Yahweh Hashem. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. So, and turn to the sisters. If the sisters in the class, Men of Israel, Amaj Shabbat, Amajum, Barak, Yahweh Shemar, Thom Bashem Yahushua. Yazmatah, class dismissed.